Daniel Sims, and this is my Seesaw video design for Mec2406 assignment 2. So I've got this code here, which is the code which I've submitted. I've uploaded it to my Arduino board. We'll just check out the serial model while she's plugged in. So she's printing some values. I've just got it printing the gyro X values at the moment. So what I'd done previously, I have copied these values, taken an average in Excel, and put this in as our offset for the sensor, for the X part of the sensor. So now we'll come over here. Oh, actually, before we do this, I'll not be able to show it today on my actual Seesaw design. The Seesaw does not balance well enough on this to be able to give the motors a chance to show what the code's doing and stuff, due to my design being a bit flawed. So the angle's not steep enough or sharp enough, and it's not actually physically attached to this horizontal part of the Seesaw, so it can slide right off. I did put, however, I don't want to just disturb my board, but underneath here a little divot in that was meant to sort of stick into these, however it was not enough. The reason I didn't go with a connection like a sort of a bolt through here or something is I thought the friction coefficient would be too high for these small DC motors to have any effect. But what we will do is we will take this board here, my laptop will let it reach, and if this motor will keep spinning, it just plays up a bit. Maybe I'll just unplug this and we'll see how we go. Just unplug it from my computer and to leave the 9V in, so that will supply some power. Okay, she's just playing up, so we'll just take the 9V out, put it back into the computer. Sometimes it just does this, and we'll re-upload the code, and that should fix it. My code is not perfect, however, I do get some movement from the angles and stuff, so that's what we'll show here today. So okay, we'll come over here. I have this here set up, so I don't know if you can see the red here is 0 to 5 degrees, blue is the 5 to 20, and this black area is the 20 to 45, so we'll just see what happens when we put this here. So we've got a pretty much level. We'll move this down to around about that. That's about now, I'd say 30 degrees. We'll see what happens as she gets a bit further, and we can see now this motor on this side stops, which means if this was balancing right, the board is trying to make this lift. So in reality, if this was not being held by me, this would now start to straighten up. And as we see, this motor kicks back in, and in an ideal system, this would, be level, like holding level now. Now we'll go the other way and see if it does the same thing. And as we see here, I'm obviously not holding it quite straight here. Straight must be around about here. As we see, the motors are spinning very similar. Now I'll bring it down a bit, and we see that this motor stops, so that this one would kick in power to try to bring this back to level. Now I've set, for this example here, my set point to 0, which means that this code is trying to get this system to level out, and that's why when we get this angle, it stops one of the other motors to make the other kick back in and pick this one up, and vice versa. Now, this is not 100% accurate, as I'm not holding this probably perfectly level. Ideally, this would be a better system, would be designed physically, and maybe better motors would be being used with maybe higher RPM. Definitely needs larger fan blades, probably needs a cutout here, that way the air is not just being forced straight into the board and can actually cause some lift. But other than that, the code is showing that it's trying to level this out, as we saw. So to improve this further, obviously a better system would be needed, something that would actually be able to work on the Seesaw, and just some refining in the code to allow this not to be so stop-start. As we see here, it's, it's very iffy. Maybe the angle, the offset's not quite right, like there is where it's sitting roughly the same, and it's probably not perfectly level. A bit hard to tell because I'm holding it, but these are all the things that would come with further refining of the code and the system itself. So thank you.